the moment you're not on the heavy loads.
Yeah.
People don't get that. You're not going to magically get bigger every time you touch something. You're going to get bigger, you're going to get smaller. It's not it will, like you said, it'll enhance what you're doing, but if you're doing nothing or sloppy build, you end up with a lot more sloppiness to your body.
100%. Well, and people think steroids build muscle. Steroids don't build muscle. Steroids enhance recovery. So you're going to recover quicker and build muscle at a greater rate because you're recovering quicker, but it's not like you take a steroid and all of a sudden you're huge. I know a lot of people, to be honest with you, that you would see walking in public that look like they've never taken a steroid in their life and they've been on them for 10 years. And when I see that, I scratch my head and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Risk reward.
Yeah, like, why are you playing with your health like this when you look the same as when you did? Because these people, they can't follow a diet. They can't train hard. They simply are just at a point they're reliant on the psychological effects that they get from the drugs. They feel good on them, so now they chase that. As far as I'm concerned, you're a fucking head. You're an addict. Yeah, you're addicted to the feeling that you are when you're on steroids. What's the difference between a heroin addict or a crack addict or whatever? They're addicted to a feeling when they hit that pipe. It's no different than you, right? So, and the other side of this whole thing is, and I think it's important to talk about, is the mental aspect of bodybuilding, because it's like a running joke in the bodybuilder's world, but like the second you start bodybuilding, every day you're going to think worse of yourself is kind of true.
Isn't that the fucked up thing? You get into it looking for the better lifestyle, but man, the moment you wake up and you're a little puffier or you don't lift as much as last week, you think you've gone backwards 5 years.
100%.
I felt this even at any form of training. He is so right on this one. Holy shit, yeah. I mean, go into it.
Like, for myself, for example, this morning I was 258.2 pounds. The heaviest I've ever been in my life. I look at myself in the mirror before I shower and I feel small. As a 258...
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9" and a bit.
Yes, he's like an inch taller than me, and he's currently over 50 pounds of lean muscle mass, heavier than me, and he thinks he's a small man.
And that's just the mind games that get played, right? Like, I remember when I woke up in the morning of... It was 2017 when I did nationals. I was sitting on my couch and, like, don't get me wrong, like, I was fucking peeled. I had striated glutes and stuff, and I'm sitting on my couch kind of playing with my stomach, thinking I'm too fat to get on stage. Wow. And, like, I'm sub 4% body fat at that time. And I look back in an off season at those pictures when I feel fat in my off season, and I'm like, fuck, I'm fat. Or fuck, I'm small. Yeah. And then I look back at those pictures and I'm like, fuck, you were small then, but you were shredded, right? So it's this never-ending mental battle, and at some point we do come to terms with it. I've been doing this a minute now, so like I don't beat myself up to the point I'm depressed over it, but I look at myself and I'm like, fuck, I just don't feel it here. But that's also part of, I think, what drives us to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if that's what gets you to go back to the gym that day when you want to sit on the couch.
I feel like I look small today. Well, I have a training session in 7 hours that I can change that.
Absolutely.
And then
or he invites me and he feels big.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm bigger than this little guy, so fuck it.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, it's a long-winded way of answering your question, but there's a lot of different pieces to it. And to be honest with you, I'll even go as far as to say, if you're pursuing the bodybuilding thing, which a lot of people that are listening to this probably never will, it's a very niche thing, but maybe somebody is interested. Whether you're enhanced or you're natural, bodybuilding inherently is not overly healthy. Even as a natural athlete, when you diet down to extremely low levels of body fat.
You're talking about competition bodybuilding,
yes.
Not getting into the gym.
Yes.
That is nothing but winning.
100%.
Okay, I'm getting on stage.
Getting on stage in a little, as a male in a little pair of bikini trunks, or as a female in a bikini, whatever. Naturally or enhanced, it's not inherently healthy. When you get to that level of body fat as a natural athlete, even, your thyroid function takes a hit. Your sex hormones take a hit. Your estrogen, your testosterone, all these things. Females, we see things come to light like amenorrhea, where they lose their cycles for 4, 5, 6 months, right? And I'm the guy that I'm educated enough to fix these things, and I always have this conversation with people before they go that route, because I love bodybuilding and I'm not sitting here shitting on it. but I'm honest about
But
it.
you can't be ignorant about it.
You can't pretend these things don't exist, and you can't just keep dieting people through all these health problems and think that they don't exist, because now you are fucking with someone's future and their longevity, right? Because if a female continues to stay in a amenorrheic state for 5, 6, 7 years, well, the chances of her ever having kids is quite low. So you need to be able to fix these problems, and that's one of the things that I pride myself on as a coach, is I'm honest from the get-go with these people, and I also know how to fix a lot of these problems. And the cool thing about the community that I've been able to over time build from my connections with people in the US, I have buddies, Cam, Dom, a lot of people in the US, my buddies in Canada, my team here. If there's something that I can't figure out or solve, even though I've done all these mentorships and all these things, I know somebody that will be able to solve it or walk me through how to solve it. So realistically,
so you put your ego aside and admit, I'm not the expert here, but I will find you the best information.
100%. And that's one of the, because I have friends that'll come to me to help them solve problems. Yeah. And we're all doing the same thing. We're coaching athletes at the highest levels. We're chasing the same goals, but we don't have this ego where it's like, I can't help you because you'll get ahead of me.
I can't ask because you might know more than me.
100%. I don't give a shit about that. There's a person in front of me that needs help. If I can't actually solve that problem for them, well, here's the reality of it. If I can't solve that problem for them, they're going to go find somebody that can.